Doing a little cardio as we get ready for this next movie. I'll start there. We've talked about this numerous times. The great thing about cardio for me is that cardio with a small amount of cardio, it will get me absolutely peeled still. And the reason why that is because I don't use all the options that are available to me to be ripped. And because I don't use those options all the time, the body's never adapted to everything. Now, it does adapt at that end of the diet and me pushing it to the limit in that 12 weeks. And that's the great thing about that the golden era. It's so cool. There's so much information that the golden era already discovered way before the science-based lifters and everything, that 8 to 12 weeks, it's a good amount of time to push it to the limit. And just during those times, do the very best you can. If you want to hit 100%, go off for 12 weeks. The deficit, the 2 workouts maybe. During that time, because you're in a deficit and you're training so much, maybe overtrain the abs a little bit just to try to tighten it up. Overtrain the abs. Use the cardio. If you want to do that hour, most of the guys all talk about it. There's an hour in the morning, an hour at night, and you push the limits for those 12 weeks and then stop. And again, those guys figured that out back in the day with their amazing physiques and the healthiness. That's, I think, for me, it's not just the amazing physiques, and I know that that's what a lot of people get stuck on. Oh, they look great. They know what to do. But what happens if you just say that for everybody? It's a blanket statement to everybody that's in shape. Well, not everybody got in shape in a healthy way or stayed in shape for decades in a healthy way. Maybe they went extreme. Maybe they went low carbs all year and they messed up their metabolism and their body. Maybe they did cardio all year long. And so again, they used up the options and destroyed their body and got so much mileage that it's, again, at a moment, they looked incredible. So you assume they're doing it right. Doesn't mean it. That I don't think I need to say. I think you guys already, every single person out there, if you don't think that's true, wow. You're going through this world only seeing what you want to see. There's enough fitness people, even outside of the fitness world. There's enough people that were in shape for a moment, and by the way they got in shape and stayed in shape for decades, destroyed their body. So by the time they got to their 40s and 50s, their bodies were so broken. Now, to me, I don't think that's intelligent. I fully understand wanting to push it when you're young, and the mindset when you're young is hard to hold back. It's you're a stallion. You want to just go. I get that, but I just go back to, you got to train smart, and you got to train smart to look the best you can as you are young, but know enough that you understand, or we hope, that we all have that longer life to where you get to enjoy the body throughout your years. And I talked to Jimmy Menace the other day, and there was one thing I wanted to get, and I'll go back and revisit this with him. One of the questions I had is, how is he able to go back and do what he's going to do? Jimmy Menace is a pro bodybuilder. He's getting ready for now the Masters Olympia. He's going to be 60. My point was saying, how are you able to do this? Is because of the fact that he did train smart. Because He didn't destroy his body as a teenager or in his 20s. And now, as he's closing in on 60, he's able to get back in that kind of great shape and step on the Mr. Olympia Masters stage. Now, I hope that for everybody. Not the Mr. Olympia Masters stage, but the stage of life that you can get out there and you can tussle and look great. So the whole point of that whole discussion was the fact of when you are your teens and 20s, try to train smart. And again, that is a mental statement because I know how we are when we're 20 and 30 and how aggressive we are, how much we want to be champions. And there's maybe for a lot of you, like me, if I train harder than everybody else, lift more weight than everybody else, diet better than everybody else, I'll be better than everybody else. It don't work that way. Wish it did, because the people with the most effort and desire would win every single time. Life's not that way. You can do your very best. You can diet like a madman. You can train harder than anybody. You can lift tremendous amount of weight and look just decent. So there's other factors. We all know this. There's other factors. And we talked about this a lot. There's guys that are walking around that don't train, that don't eat, and they eat at McDonald's, and they look like they could be on stage tomorrow. And then there's guys that gas up, train 6 days a week, eat great nutrition, and look like shit. And that's the reality of life. So that's why I guess at some point you got to step back. And I was asked today, guy asked me, hey, I want to like to get your point of view on what body parts I need to work on. Stay with me on this one, because this is something I discovered early in my career. And I said, yeah, no sweat. I'll let you know. Give me some time to look at the physique and everything, and I'll get back to you. And I said, what category are you competing in? And he said, well, done physique. And this is a good size guy too. Tall, good size. Great shape. I'd say 6'4". And he says, but I would like to do classic. And I go, okay. You got to make that decision on what you're going to do, first off. And don't make that decision off of criterias or anything like that. Make that decision off of what you want your body to look like. Do you want to have sleek legs? Well, then cool. And you want to do classic? Cool. You may not win, but at least you're doing it and looking the way you want to look.